Finally, the three of us, tired of being ignored, just ran over, and we just absolutely destroyed the sandcastle. Right? I know, yes. We kicked it, we stomped it, we tore it apart with our hands. What had taken Doug about an hour to build, we had torn down in seconds. Now, I'll never forget what happened next. My grandfather, who had watched this whole thing happen, came over, and instead of justifiably yelling at us for what we had done, he just calmly got down on one knee, he looked Doug in the eye, and he just spoke to him. And he told my brother Doug, he said, "Don't be angry. For Doug, you are the strongest of all of your brothers, and they are jealous." He told Doug that while we thought we were strong and tough, the act of destruction is really just an act of weakness. It is the act of creation, however, the act of bringing something beautiful and new into this world. That, my grandfather said, is something that only the strong can do. He said destruction of beautiful objects, like the sandcastle, is a quick and simple process. Anybody can do it. It requires no talent, no skill. But the creation of something takes hours, months, years. Requires perseverance, patience, requires vision and strength. Those who create, said my grandfather, those are the strong and the mighty. Those who destroy, be it physical, verbal, or spiritual, that type of desecration, they are the weak. So this lesson stayed with me throughout my life, and it's one of the reasons that I am so proud of all of you, the class of 2017. During your high school career, HPHS has tried to give you a fair amount of practice in building and creating. And I hope you can feel the strength developing within your mind and within your hearts, within your spirit. As a class, you have poured out your soul into academics, athletics, the arts, in classrooms and clubs. You have created inspiring works of art and scholarship, pieces powerful enough to challenge conventions and provoke deep conversation. You created ideas and activities to help raise approximately $700,000 in 4 years of charity drive. With social awareness and solidarity, you created actions to line our streets for justice and peace and to engage in social justice. With an understanding and compassion, you created actions against bullying, harassment, discrimination, and the R word. As a class, you will go out into the bigger world, and you will see horrifying acts of destruction perpetrated by the weak and the simple. Yet I take great hope knowing that you will stand amongst the strong. You will be able to stand as giants because each of you individually has begun the most important creation project you'll undertake, that of creating your unique individual self. Creating your own unique self is one of these difficult tasks we all must do. I mean, think about it. You wander about, trying on all these different identities, testing which one feels good, which one feels wrong. You look around, you see all these examples of what people want you to be, but none of those were created by you, and you know they just don't completely fit. Step by step, moment by moment, you keep creating. Bravely, you also keep revising. You keep at it. Every decision you make shapes who you are, moves you in a new direction. And like my brother Doug, while you're trying to do this, occasionally bullies stumble upon you and tear you down and destroy everything you're trying to build. People try to sap your strength by forcing identities on you. People may stunt your growth by refusing to see you as anything other than the person you were many, many years ago. Right? I mean, think about that. How many of you feel right now, despite all the ways that you've grown and evolved throughout these years, that your friends or our community chain you to a version of yourself that once existed maybe in 3rd grade, maybe in 5th grade, maybe in 8th grade, but has long since vanished. See, what's great about graduation tonight, each of you now has the opportunity to accelerate the recreation and reinvention of yourself. Most of you will leave for college, careers, and the military. No one in your future fraternity will know you didn't make the play. No one in your future barracks will know you weren't invited to that great party. No one in your new job will know where it was that you hung out during your school free periods. This opportunity you have is so rare in life. Seize it. Your moment has come. You currently have an identity that we've all created together. But now, in this moment, you become your own author. You get to write and revise. And like a paper, writing your identity is hard work. It's frequently confusing work. You stop a lot and you think, where is this thing going? Is this what I really want? And when you wonder if your evolving identity fits you, when you question what you're becoming, here's a little bit of advice. Former NBA player John Amici, now a distinguished child psychologist, continually revised his own identity throughout his life. Notably, when he came out as a gay man in the world of professional sports. He had worn the uniform on and off the court of a prominent basketball star. But this identity, however affirmed and celebrated by social expectations, never quite fit him. And in recounting his decision to rewrite his life and the public narrative of it, he recalled the advice that his mother gave him. She told him, John, the key to living an authentic life is to always ask yourself this question. Would you know your own soul in the dark? So think about that. Would you know your soul in the dark? In the dark, John would not be seen wearing a uniform. He wouldn't know his skin color, his age, his size. No one had expectations of who he had been. No one knew his history, his nicknames, his stories of who he was. The question that his mother was asking him then, with all that erased, could John be comfortable with what remained? His morals, his beliefs, his convictions, his loves and fears. Would he even recognize those things that made him who he is when he bumped into them in the dark? Like John, we all have to stumble around in the dark. And the soul we find there is the one we have to grab onto, and it's the one we have to live when the lights come on. So no matter who you become when the lights come on, I hope you will always remember those who have given you so much to prepare you for your futures. May you always express love and thanks and gratitude for your parents, your guardians, your family members, friends, and teachers. I know I speak for all of us when I tell you we want nothing more for you than the happiness that comes from a life well lived. As you're getting ready to leave HPHS, I want you to remember this sentiment that I paraphrase not from Homer Simpson, but from Mahatma Gandhi. As giants, there are no goodbyes for us. Wherever you are, we will always be in each other's hearts. Dr. Dignam, members of the District 113 Board of Education, these 510 students before you are true giants in academics, in sports and arts, as well as in service and spirit. I am excited, proud, and honored to present to you all of these students for graduation. Let the class marshals come forward and our ceremony continue.